Am I the asshole for demanding my brother-in-law pay back the 200,000 Cuban pesos we lent him to escape loan sharks? Hi, everyone. This has been weighing on me for months now, and I honestly don't know if I'm being cold or if I've just finally had enough and need to stand up for my own family. Here's what happened. I'm a 34-year-old husband and father. My wife, Sarah, and I have 2 children. When this all happened, our youngest was barely 5 months old. We were already struggling financially. Diapers, formula, doctor visits, and daily expenses were stretching us thin. I work full-time as a senior IT professional at a small firm, and Sarah works at an accounting office. Because we were barely making ends meet, Sarah even took on 2 online side jobs just to help cover the bills. We're not well off. We live carefully and save what little we can for our children's future and emergencies. Enter Jake, Sarah's 29-year-old younger brother. Jake has always been reckless. He's the type of guy who coasts on charm, always talking his way out of responsibility. Behind that charm, though, was a long-standing gambling addiction. It started with small bets through Gcash, but over time, he got into Isabong, crypto casinos, and underground gambling apps. He kept telling us things like, it's an investment, or one more bet and I'll win everything back. We knew something was off, but he always made it seem like he had things under control. Then, late one night, around 11 p.m., he showed up at our home looking pale and terrified. He confessed that he had borrowed heavily to fund a sure win bet. First, from loan apps. Then he pawned his phone. Then, desperate, he borrowed from illegal lenders, real loan sharks. But instead of just owing 200,000 Cuban pesos outright, he explained that because of the interest and penalties, his debt was growing month after month, and he had no way to pay any of it back. Then things took a turn for the worse. The loan sharks started harassing our family. At first, they would call Jake constantly. Then they began reaching out to other family members, messaging his mother, his cousins, even his old coworkers. They'd send threatening messages implying shame, danger, or trouble unless Jake paid. Some of the messages suggested they knew where his loved ones lived. That included us. Sarah was crying. She was scared. She said, "We can't let something happen to him, or to anyone else in the family." Jake begged us. He said if he could just pay them off, they'd stop. He promised to change, get a real job, pay us back. So we did what we thought was right. Even though it cost us everything, we scraped together all we had. Our savings, the money set aside for tuition and emergencies, even my calamity loan from SSS. Sarah picked up even more online hours to keep us afloat. We gave him 200,000 Cuban pesos and made him sign a simple written agreement, 1 year to repay us. It wasn't a gift, it was a loan, and we made that clear. Jake promised he'd turn his life around. No more gambling. He'd clean up, start working, and make things right. That was 1 year ago. Since then, nothing. Not a single peso paid back. At first, he'd send updates, vague ones. Then he'd just stop replying altogether. That was already frustrating, but then we saw him online, not messaging us, but posting. On Facebook and Instagram, he was living the good life, eating at Korean barbecue restaurants in BGC, staying at hotels in Tagaytay, even vacationing in Siargao. His captions? I deserve this. New mindset, new life. One had a photo of a fancy cocktail with the hashtag self-love. Meanwhile, we're still in a financial hole. I've taken on more hours. Sarah's working herself to exhaustion. Our kids are growing up, and we're constantly worried about money. I finally called Jake. Calmly, I asked, "Will you plan to start paying us back?" Instead of owning up, he got defensive. He told me I was pressuring him, that I was being toxic and materialistic, that family should help family. I nearly lost it. Wasn't that what we already did? He ended the call saying that if I didn't stop harassing him, he'd block us completely. Sarah was crushed. Her own brother, the one we bent over backwards to help, was treating us like the enemy. And to make things worse, her mother sided with him, saying, "What's done is done. The important thing is Jake is alive. Just find a way to earn it back." But I can't just move on. That 200,000 Cuban pesos was for our children, for their future. We gave up everything to protect him. And now he's living carefree while we're struggling every day. So now I'm asking, am I the asshole for demanding that Jake pay us back, even if he says he's recovering from his addiction? Because from where I'm standing, it doesn't look like recovery. It looks like he's celebrating with the money that we can't afford to lose. What would you do if you were in my position?